Good day, EBIC Church family. I am coming to you with a unique update today. It is actually Sunday morning as I'm recording this because I thought you might find it interesting to go behind the scenes and see what happens when we put together our online worship service for you. So I'm going to take you on a little walking tour of our setup here, and we'll pull back the curtain and you can get a perspective on what has to happen for you to see the service that you do on Sunday morning. So sit back, buckle up, enjoy the ride as I show you our online worship service behind the scenes. As you walk in the door, it is kind of dark and quiet, which is okay because we don't need a lot going on in the building while we're doing our service. I am taking you into the lounge, room 142, where on a typical Sunday morning we'd have an elective, we'd have fellowship group, but what it is right now is our little studio for recording, and so it's what goes on in here that determines what you hear on the screen as you're watching. So here we have our very official studio technician, John Yoder. There he is. I confess I have no idea what he actually does here. If you take a look at his keyboard, you see all kinds of dials and things that do stuff, and I don't know what they do. And so he's got a laptop there that's tuned to the live stream page so he can see what is actually going out. And then he's also got a screen here to tell him what is going up on the screen. And it looks like there is a little bit of a delay between what you see on the computer there and what's actually being projected onto the screen here. So just an interesting little tidbit for you. So this is what happens here. John needs it quiet, so it's a little bit before the service starts. We're going to quietly bow out so that he can do his thing as we run our service. So we're walking into the sanctuary. It is just a few minutes before we start our prelude. So we'll show you what's going on up on stage here. I don't know if you've noticed this, but we try to do all of our social distancing when we're on stage. So each member of the worship team has their own spot every week, 6 feet apart at least. We have our vocalists, and then you go toward the back a little bit. You have the keyboard where Cassie plays. You have Brian's guitar spot. You have the drums. You have Justin on bass over there, and of course Ken at the piano. You have a lovely centerpiece from Marion Messick. She likes to change those out every week so that you get a fresh look when you're checking out our service. Of course, we have the pulpit where the preacher of the day is speaking from, and today, here we have Daylene, who is our speaker of the day, so she gets the pulpit privileges today, which means that I get booted away from the pulpit, and I give the announcements from this lovely music stand. And because we try, again, everyone has their own space every Sunday morning, and you only go to your spot on that morning. So that's where I will be. If you're curious, what is up on the screen back there is what you are seeing. And so we see what you see, except when we actually have the video going, when the video feed is going, all that we see back there is a blue screen. So we're just trusting that we look our best when we're up on the screen. And actually the screens in the front are blank the whole time. So if we want to know, if those of us that are not up on stage want to sing along and we need the words, we have to look at the back to see what's going on. And when we're not on stage, we've got a crew that sits at the far left, and then you see the vacant middle section, and then we've got a crew that sits on the far right side here, and they're waving happily at you. They're happy to do this for you. So that is what happens as we're getting ready for our service. Now, we'll go back for the little tech tour in the back. So we have Karen here set up, and she does all kinds of things here, and I don't know what any of them are. I think she's mainly monitoring the live stream to make sure that the feed is strong.
But it doesn't say what it says right now, which is offline.
Yes, it's important that when it is time to be on, that is online and the signal is strong. That was not the case last week, which was sending some people who will not be named into a panic. But we managed to work it out and still get the service to you. So Karen's monitoring the live feed and making sure that we've got a good signal. And then we have Trevin back here. And Trevin is our cameraman. So go ahead, Trevin. We'll show what goes on back here. So you see here, there's the different camera angles. And so he's constantly monitoring what's on each camera and switching back and forth just to keep it interesting. And can also monitor what is actually being projected at the time. And then we have Kira over here, and she is toggling through there she is, Messiah College graduate Kira Yoder.
Finally.
She is the one that's clicking through the slides so that keeping the lyrics going, changing what's being projected. Specifically, not the video part of what's being projected, but the slide part of what's being projected, if that makes any sense at all. So that is what she is doing. So we are, let's see, we are 7 minutes from the start of things. So I better get quiet here so that we can get ready to launch. Here's what it sounds like on Sunday morning in the sanctuary. Up on the screen while you all see what's happening on stage. All of this that you see comes from 3 cameras. 1, 2, and way over there, number 3. There you have it. There's our live stream service for today. You have seen pretty much what goes on behind the scenes. You've seen the tech end, because there's a lot of techie stuff going on, most of which I do not understand in the least. Fortunately, I don't have to understand it, because we've got other very capable people that do. And things came together pretty well. As far as I know, we didn't have any issues in that service. Hopefully you didn't have any issues as you were watching and listening where you are. But we are, Ken has called us the quarantine worship team, and it is our privilege to be able to bring you the services each week. We hope that they continue to encourage you and to help you as you approach your week, to give you some things to think about, even to give you some things to pray about and some things to do as you go into your week. And so I hope that you take Daylene's words to heart this week and that you would pray that prayer, God, show me who I can serve, and that you would take those opportunities that God gives you to serve. So I hope you have a great week. Hope you have a great serving week, and look forward to next Sunday. God bless.